May be a new year, but some things never change, namely complaints about the condition of roads in Surrey. And now a petition has been launched calling on the government to provide more money for road repairs in the area, especially to deal with wear and tear caused by the number of drivers going to, say, Gatwick and Heathrow. According to the campaign figures, Surrey gets 1.8% of overall funding, despite having some of the most used roads in the country. The amount's decided by the length of roads, not the amount of traffic. Surrey County Councillor Rebecca Paul started the petition and joins me now. Rebecca, morning to you and Happy New Year.
Good morning. Happy New Year to you too.
So now I have to say, this whole thing about the length of roads, I did know about this, which is why, of course, some roads in the north of England, for example, Yorkshire Dales, of course, which go on for miles, in such great condition. It's been an issue for so long. So why are you now launching the petition?
Well, I think it's clear that there is a unfairness in the current road funding formula that disadvantages high traffic counties like Surrey. And this is something that has been raised several times before, and I mean, we haven't managed to secure the change. But, it's time to ask again. So, the current formula relies solely upon road length and takes no consideration of traffic volume. This flaw in the formula means that Surrey, which is more than 3 times busier than some other English counties, doesn't receive any extra funding to reflect the additional wear and tear suffered. I mean, this is a really important issue for Surrey residents that we need to raise, and that's why I've launched this petition calling on central government to reform the road funding formula to take into account traffic volume as well. It can be found at www.fairroadfunding.uk, and I need 100,000 signatures to trigger a parliamentary debate on the topic, which is obviously a massive, massive task. So I really need residents to back the campaign. I really want to make sure that the voice of Surrey residents are heard in Westminster.
How bad, actually, from the research you've got and all the rest of it, how bad are the roads in Surrey, though, compared to other counties?
So I hear constantly from residents about how bad the roads are. And I often hear anecdotally as well how residents, when driving back into Surrey, they can tell exactly when they're home as the quality of the road changes the moment they cross the county line. And at the end of the day, Surrey residents pay their taxes and they deserve good roads. And to not take into account traffic volume when allocating funding, it just doesn't make sense. Clearly, a more highly used road will require more maintenance. And, we simply need to allocate more funding to those networks that need it more. And I think it's a completely reasonable request for us to ask for the funding formula to be improved and made fairer.
I'm going to come back to the petition in just a moment. I just want to quickly ask about what the county council itself is doing. Now, there's a maintenance contract change, isn't there, for roads from Cllr to Ringway coming this April. What difference, hopefully, is that going to make, if at all?
Well, we always, when we're looking at contractors, we're always looking to get the best value we can and the highest standards of workmanship. So, we will hopefully see improvements as a result of that contractual change. And what Surrey also recognises, we recognise that the money we get from central government, we get from the Department for Transport in the last financial year just under 26 million. That's nowhere close to what we need to maintain our roads. And Surrey County Council is utterly committed and recognises the importance of our road and has committed to an additional 200 million of spend to improve the roads. But the reality is we need even more than that to address the backlog and get our roads to the standard that residents deserve.
There is a highways department, obviously, at Surrey County Council. There are politicians that are specifically assigned in that. If you took a list of, say, the top 5 priorities that the highways department's looking at from the council, how high is the repairs aspect, say, against maybe development or future projects? Is it number 1?
I'm not entirely sure exactly where it sits in the priorities. Obviously, it's up there. It is a high priority because we recognise that this is something that residents want. And when we look at the number of complaints or calls that the council receives, then, road maintenance issues are up there. So, and the county council does, do its best to respond to residents' needs in this area.
OK, back to the petition then. So you need 100,000 on that petition to get that debate in Parliament. So where have we got to on that so far? And what does that actually look like?
So at the moment, we're at just under 800 signatures. So just 99,200 more to go. Yeah. So it is a mammoth task. And we have 1.2 million people in Surrey, and virtually everyone I speak to in Surrey is supportive of the petition and what we're trying to do. But what I really do need people to do is to take the 30 seconds to go online and sign the petition, because if we want to have any chance of success, we have got to show public support for this, and we've got to make sure Surrey's voice is heard in Westminster on this one.
OK, Rebecca, thank you very much indeed for joining us this morning. That is Surrey County Councillor Rebecca Paul. It's 19 minutes to 8.